We know what it's like to be standing in the kitchen, wondering, what am I going to fix tonight? What are we going to have? I mean, after all, we've been cooking for decades. Breakfasts, lunch, brunches, dinners, year after year after year. So, of course, we love it when we go out. However, there's nothing like a home cooked meal. And finally, I get to share with you some ideas of what I do to make things interesting and, of course, to get the best benefits for our bodies. This particular video is going to have vegetables only. However, you can always add another source of protein from meat to go along with these dishes. Every single one of these dishes will go with that. You'll be able to do that. Okay? So the first one is one that I did when it was cold. I think this was February. And there's something I've never done before, and that is added white potatoes, which I rarely have anymore, and sweet potatoes in the same, not only in the same meal, in the same dish. And you know what? It worked beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. And there is a place for potatoes. Sometimes, carbs, especially potatoes, they get a very bad rap. But just know that there are benefits if you don't overdo it. And it really depends on what you put on it. If you load it up with butter, that makes it a bit different. So anyway, the benefits of white potatoes are many, and I'm just going to list a few. We do get potassium, and that's going to support your heart health and help you have energy for your daily activities. There's the fiber, that's always good for the gut. We're going to come back to the garlic. These will be repeating so that we can get through all the images as well as the information that I thought of and I decided I wanted to put here. So yes, the potatoes have that resistant starch, which also supports your gut health. And you see, I am a little bit on the heavy side where it comes to spices. Not too heavy on the salt, though. However, spices can be good for you. And I'll tell you, garlic especially has that sulfur compound that supports heart health once again, and healthy blood pressure and your defenses, and it's rich in antioxidants. And the same with paprika. Now, the smoked paprika is the very same as the regular paprika, except that, of course, it has the smoked taste. They have lots of antioxidants. You can tell the carotenoids that we spoke of before, the polyphenols, all those colors, the deep, rich colors, which are so good for you, that provide the vitamin A. That's, of course, good for your eyes, and a lot of flavor without the salt. And you know what? Where it comes to the potatoes, you don't have to choose one or the other. You can have them together, like I did, and get that vitamin C and potassium from both of those potatoes. So the cumin, which is something I absolutely love, I think I put it in every meal, so you'll see some cumin coming in these dishes as well. And they also have antioxidants, just like that paprika does. And it's a good source of iron. And when I say a good source, this is over time. Of course, you're not going to eat a whole tablespoon of cumin by itself. However, when you generously put it on your food, then you're going to get the benefits of it. Now, we talked about enzymes and having our food raw, yet there is something to think about where it comes to tomatoes, because tomatoes are really good in lycopene and also, once again, vitamin C and potassium and antioxidants. However, that lycopene, which is a powerful antioxidant, really is released with heat. So you don't get that same amount when you eat them raw. And that is why I like to have raw food along with my cooked food, so you get the benefit of both, right? So you've got the lycopene, which is that antioxidant that protects your cells from damage. Once again, heart health, do you hear this recurring theme? And they protect the cells from oxidative stress. And then we've got the green peppers, another source of vitamin C, and low in calories, and fiber, and high in fiber, and antioxidants, and supports your defense health. Now we've got the raw tomato here, and this is how I cut it up in small pieces for the salad. And it's very helpful to have them both, I think, so that you can get the benefits that they both offer. So now romaine lettuce is once again high in vitamins A, C, and K. And they support your bone health, and it has folate, which is so important too for your blood as well. And it, once again, adds fiber and hydration. And that's why a salad is so good. So just know that you can choose to do things differently. Now, I know you've had salads forever. Yet, one of the things that I like to do that might be different, and you'll see as we go along, is to add fermentation, right? To add that fermented food. So before we get to that, though, I wanted to share with you how important it is for us to scrub, and I mean scrub. I have a little scrub brush. Oh, there it is. It's kind of worn there. However, in the sink and under running water. Now, why would I scrub something like an avocado or a lemon? Well, obviously, there's dirt there. However, there's bacteria also. And I keep thinking how food is sometimes stored in warehouses. Well, thankfully, when you get food from the farmer's market, it's not warehoused like that. And I think I'm thinking more about the canned foods, I even wash the cans, honey. Let's face it, who knows what evil lurks in some of these warehouses, right? So we want to be sure that we wash everything really well. So that's the salad. And now I add avocado. Now, avocado is really a fruit, just like cucumbers and tomatoes are really fruits as well. And avocado is rich in really good, heart-healthy, monounsaturated fats, which are really good for you. And they also can help increase absorption of iron from the other foods that we're eating. And I like to have an avocado almost every day. Well, at least a half. I like to have a half of one every day. Good source of vitamin C, rich in those monounsaturated fats. Now, later we're going to see some coleslaw that, of course, just made from cutting up the cabbage. And have you noticed how inexpensive it is to do it yourself? Can you imagine? I went to the store to get some coleslaw, by the way, and this is a sidebar here. And there it is. However, when I saw how much it was for that tiny little package in plastic, which we're going to talk about later, we'll have a video on the plastics. I got myself a head of lettuce, a head of cabbage, and just one great big fat carrot, and made my own coleslaw. Now, also, we talked about fermented foods, remember? And I love pickles. I just absolutely love them. And these are the pickles that are naturally fermented in brine, so there will be quite a bit of sodium in it. So if you watch your sodium intake, just know that when you have that, you will also get that sodium, and so you can just not add salt to the meal, and it will be the flavor added. Okay, so once again, I'm pointing out how we get to wash even the avocado. I scrub it because as you cut through it, you will be cutting those contaminants right into your food when you don't wash them well. Okay, so cucumbers, tomatoes, which are going to be added later, and carrots, all the ingredients for your coleslaw raw. So now you're getting those enzymes that we talked about with the raw food, and you're getting the benefits of the cooked foods in the same meal. Now, the cabbage, of course, once again, is going to give you lots of fiber. You're going to get vitamin C and vitamin K. That's going to support your digestive health. And the nutritional the value of it really depends on what dressing you use. And sometimes you could just have it with, my favorite dressing is just plain lemon and good quality olive oil. So when you cut up the pickles this way, as you can see, I'm adding more because I think I've said that already, haven't I? How much I love it. But the fermented cabbage, once again, fermented cabbage and fermented pickles, which, they're fermented as well. You're getting those probiotics. So this is the gut health that we talked about before. Rich in probiotics. Now, the dill pickles, when they're naturally fermented, also support your gut health. And, of course, they're low in calories, and they give you the right kind of bacteria. Yes, we do need bacteria. And most of the time, we don't get enough of the right kind of bacteria. And so the wrong kind of bacteria just wreaks havoc. This is the right bacteria, and lots of it. I trust you got a couple of ideas as to how to add more fruits and veggies, more colors of the rainbow. Peace.